Let's go. That's the sort of skies we get around here in winter. It's actually only the first month of winter, but it hasn't been a cold winter, which is really nice. And more importantly, the day before yesterday was the winter solstice, I believe it's called. It's the shortest day of the year, which means from here on out, the day should be theoretically lengthening, and it should be warming up eventually. So yes, I can't wait. I am not somebody who enjoys the cold weather. So we've taken the dogs out. I've taken the dogs out for a little walk. Mischa, look how weird she looks. It's like she may be blowing her coat. When they come into season, they blow their coats, and then they'll get their coats back when they're in season, and they'll be extra shiny once they're in season. But before that, they look really gross. I really hate it when that happens because it makes it look really skinny and weird looking. Hey, Mish. She's ignoring me now. So today I thought I was going to do an update on Mischa's training. Why does my hat look so weird? I haven't been storing it very well, and I think it's a little bit out of shape. It's doing weird floppy things. It should be like that, not off to the side like that. Yeah, anyway. I should give you an update on how Mischa's training's going so far, because just a few weeks ago I actually took her to an obedience competition. We did really well. We didn't qualify, and we did actually fail most of the exercises. But hear me out, because the healing was fine. The healing was actually really good, and the healing has been her problem. Her problem is when she's healing, she tends to just lose attention completely. She just loses focus, and then she drifts out all over the place. Mischa! There she is. Oh, it got stuck. Here goes this way. Okay, quick before Fable gets it. Good girl. Good girl. It should drop. Good girl. Fable, wait. Mischa. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, sorry, she went running out ahead. I had to call her back. That's a pretty good recall though. I'm really happy with how her recall is. Pretty cool. She'll recall off even if she's chasing a kangaroo, speaking of which. Mish! There she comes. Good girl. Good girl. Off you go. Off you go. Alright, yeah. If you want a specific video on how I taught that, I can make one for you, because recall is obviously people keep saying this. It's true. Recall is the most important command you can teach a dog. But it has to be a reliable recall. It can't just be a recall that they do when they feel like it, or when there's no distractions, because what is even the point of that? Recall has to be good enough that you can call them off the really high distractions, or you can never let them off lead, because you just can't trust them. And if you want to know how I taught her that, and Fable's recall is not quite the same. Like, I wouldn't trust her 100% just yet, but she's only 1 year old. Mischa's 3 years old now, but she's getting there. Her recall's almost as trustworthy as Mischa's, just not quite. If you'd like a video on how I taught that, I'd be happy to make that for you. Just let me know in the comments. Yeah, so what was I saying? Previously, she's been losing attention. Her attention span's been really bad at competitions. At home, it's usually fine, but then once we go to a competition, there's sights, there's smells, she can smell the other dogs. So usually that's when she loses attention. When they're in a focus hill, they have to be focused the entire time. It's in the name of the exercise there. And if they lose attention, that's when they make mistakes, because obviously if they're not paying attention to you, then how do they know when you turn left? They have to turn left with you, or right, or stop, or anything like that. But we've been working on that. We've been working on the focus, because the rest of her training is pretty good. It's not amazing competition wise, like she's not going to be first place in every class she does, but her training is at a stage where she's definitely ready for qualifications. It's just that she kept losing focus when she was in a competition. So just to illustrate what I was talking about, this is the last competition we went to, and you can see in this exercise, in the beginning she was doing really well, she's focused on me, she was following me really well, but then she got distracted by the smells of other dogs here, and I actually had to use my lead to pull her back, which in an obedience competition is actually not allowed. So you get points taken off if you use your lead to guide your dog at any time. And here she was supposed to actually do a stand, but she thought I was halting and she sat instead. So she didn't get any of the stands in this competition. which is really frustrating because she knows how to do it at home, but she just didn't do it. Every time she thought I was asking her to hold. But I was so happy with her, with how focused she was and how not just focused but intense she was about getting everything right. She was really cool. It was really cool. And the only reason we didn't qualify is because we didn't get any of our stands. I don't know what it was. She just didn't want to do the stands. You know what I think it was actually? I think we practiced our automatic halts, our automatic sits too much. She was expecting me when I stopped next to her to want her to sit, but I didn't. I wanted her to stand. We've been practicing that a little bit now, and hopefully it's paid off a little bit. And at our next competition, we won't make that same mistake. Mischa! Mischa! Jump! Mischa! Yeah, so I have a competition coming up in a little while, and I'm going to keep working on those stands. And hopefully by the time we get to the competition at the end of, I think it's the end of July, then we should be ready. If we're not, we'll probably just end up with a repeat of the last time. But, you know, you just got to keep, sometimes you just have to keep going to the competitions even though you know you're not going to succeed. Because after all, your dog does need time to get used to the whole atmosphere of going to a competition in the first place. Are you ready for it? You told me the other day you were. Are you sure you are? You ready to smash that competition? Yeah, you are, aren't you? You're the best dog there. You will be, I know. Come on, let's go. Oh, by the way, quick update on the puppies while I'm here. They are 9 weeks old now, and yesterday they got their second vaccination, and we took them out for socialization for the first time. So that video hopefully will be up soon. I've been really slack with making videos on the puppies. I don't know why. Life has just been so busy for me lately. I've been struggling to keep up with YouTube altogether, as you may have noticed, because all my videos are really late. So when you're training dogs, there's 3 things you've got to do. First, you've got to get them to understand what you want. So make sure your command is actually understood. When I tell Mischa to sit, like if she's on a platform, she still has to. If she's by my side, she still has to. If she's by this side, she still has to. You have to get them to have a really good understanding of what you mean when you ask them to do a command. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, you have to have motivation for them to do it. Yeah, she's got to want the reward enough to actually perform the command when you want her to do it. So you have the communication so the dog really understands what you want them to do. Then you have the motivation for them to want to do the thing. And then the last thing is you've got to teach them that they've got to do the command no matter what the distraction is. So this is what practice makes perfect. You don't want to drill your dog so that they're bored of doing the exercise over and over again. But what you do want to do is practice it enough that they understand what they're supposed to do in all scenarios. You ready? Good girl. And she should put this on herself like that. Good girl, because she's ready to work. It's one of the ways I know when she's ready to work. She'll put the collar on herself. You ready? You ready? Good girl. So I'm just going to warm her up a little bit. Good. Stand. Stand. No. Stand. Good girl. Down. Stand. Free. Good girl, Mischa. Good girl. Left. Good. See how beautifully positioned she is when she hops into position there? Yep. I think it's kind of cute. Good girl. Good. So this is the problem we've been having. Stand. Oh. Mischa. Left. Good. Good girl. That's better. I'm confident that Mischa's going to do pretty well. I think she will. I mean, I really am. I really think she's a good dog. I think I have such high hopes for her. that eventually, once I get everything together, we'll do really cool things. So, but just gotta keep practicing. Hey, look at me! Oh, baby. Good girl. Hey, baby. Speak. 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 Good girl. Hey, Mish. Mish. Go. So you see this naughty little thing. She gets hot really quickly because she's obviously fluffy and black. So as soon as it gets the slightest bit hot, she gets way too hot and she overheats. So we're actually going to head back now before she gets too hot and actually overheats. But yeah, as I say, like it gets the tiniest bit warm and she gets way too hot. Just because she's covered in huge amounts of black fur, aren't you? So yeah, so let's head back and get this one cooled down inside. Oh, and I'm actually quite hot too. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this little update on where we are with Mischa's training. It's such a gorgeous morning, even though it's really hot. Don't worry, you will be seeing more puppy videos. I have puppy videos that are being edited currently. It's just, it takes me a long time to get it all together because it's kind of disjointed filming. When I filmed it, I was all over the place. So the filming itself, the footage itself is all disjointed, but I will get there. Even though it's taken me a while, I will actually finish those videos and get them out. So there will be more puppy videos. If you're new to this channel, by the way, Mischa actually had puppies a few months ago. So if you want to see German Shepherd puppies, I have videos on them. There will be more puppy videos too. I'm not chasing you.